Hi everyone, welcome to another appointment with Going Expat. This is Rossella and today our guest is Charlotte. Hi Charlotte.
Hi Rossella, hi, it's good to see you and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Nice to see you and to talk to you. Thank you for accepting my invite to talk to us. And why Charlotte is here today? Because she was from abroad experience and today we are going to talk about how to find a job in the Netherlands. So Charlotte is gonna give us some tips and info about the working world in the Netherlands. So Charlotte, I would like you to introduce a little bit yourself as an expat, yourself too, and abroad experience, what you do, and just tell us a little bit more.
Of course, I'd love to do so. Well, first of all, just hi everyone. It's great that you're tuning in, and it's a pleasure to be here. I am Charlotte. I'm originally from Germany, but I moved to the Netherlands 8 years ago for my studies, actually in psychology. And you know how it goes. Then I met the love of my life here, who's a Dutchman, and I decided to stay here. That wasn't the plan, but that's how life kind of rolls. And so I decided to explore the Dutch job market. And I will be really honest with you, it was quite a challenge for me at that time because I didn't speak Dutch. I had trouble getting into interviews. I had a lot of rejections, and I found it quite challenging to explore the Dutch market because I felt like there was so much contradicting information about how to apply, what to have in your interview to succeed in the Netherlands, and just to go about the whole application procedure.
Yeah.
Eventually, funny enough, I started working at Abroad Experience Recruitment. I came across this job and they were looking for an international recruitment consultant. So for a couple of years now, I've been working at Abroad Experience Recruitment. We are an international recruitment consultancy, and we're located in Amersfoort, close to Utrecht. And we are one of several international agencies here in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, it's very popular to apply to jobs via recruitment agencies. There are a lot of Dutch agencies, but there are also a handful of international ones, and we're one of them. We're a quite small one. We've been in the business since 1998. And what we really do is we help the expat community to thrive on the Dutch job market. I will be happy to share more with you about that in a little bit, but just to round this little introduction off, I've been working at Abroad Experience for several years as an international recruitment consultant, where I help people to find jobs here in the Netherlands, even if they don't speak Dutch. And now since about a year, I headed into a career coaching job at Abroad Experience Recruitment. So I help people more one-on-one with their CV and getting them ready for interviews, and getting over the fear of failure on the Dutch job market and helping them to get unstuck so that they can really build a thriving life here in the Netherlands. So that's just what I do in a nutshell.
Wow, it sounds like a lot, and it's very interesting and important for people that are moving and need to look for a job. Of course, I also want to say to everyone that the details, so the links to the website, but also to the Instagram account of Abroad Experience are in the description of the video. So if anybody is interested, can just click and get in touch with Charlotte or other colleagues in Abroad Experience Recruitment. And you already say something very important. And when you moved, one of the first issues that you had was like to find a job without speaking Dutch. Today probably is a little bit easier, but how important is to speak Dutch and at which level job industry in the Netherlands?
That's a fantastic question. I would say I don't want to deny that it is, of course, important when you move to the Netherlands and you really want to make this your home country. It's you have to learn Dutch eventually. And I didn't really properly speak Dutch for the first 1 or 2 years, even though I'm German and it's easier for us to learn the language. I was always hesitant to switch to Dutch because everybody here speaks English. The Netherlands is one of the countries with the highest English proficiency. About 90% speak English. So it's very easy in the beginning to get by with English. But I will say that if you want to really integrate in the Netherlands and eventually also really thrive in a Dutch working environment, I do recommend to start learning Dutch, maybe even before you move here with fun little apps or online courses.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's not impossible to find a job here if you don't speak Dutch. What I really want to highlight is that the Netherlands is home to many international companies that have their headquarters here. Think of companies such as Philips and Heineken, and in all types of industries. I'll dive more into the industries in a little bit. But they're always looking for internationals. So their office language is typically English. They do have a lot of Dutch people working there, but their office language is English. So they're always looking for people with fluent English skills and additional European language skills. Yeah. The Netherlands is a small country, so of course we closely cooperate and work together with all our neighboring countries. So they're always looking for people with Italian, English, French, German, Spanish, for example, Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish. Think about any European language. They're always looking for people with these skills. Yeah. So it's very well possible to find a job without speaking Dutch.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, abroad experience also is very focused on that, in helping expats to find a job without speaking Dutch. Not yet, at least, from the beginning, when it can be a little bit difficult. Also because, of course, you can start to learn the language, but one thing is to need to use the language for daily and everyday stuff. And another thing is using the language to work. So it's important to start to learn the language, but maybe at the beginning you need to find a job where Dutch is not requested.
I completely agree with what you're saying. And I think it's also, I love that you highlight that again. That is exactly what we're specialized in. So I would say 80 to 90% of the roles that we have available all do not require any Dutch. They do require you to have a good level of English, fluent to business fluent, because that's something that Dutch companies or international companies in the Netherlands pay a lot of attention to, also in job interviews. But all the roles that we typically have don't require Dutch.
Yeah. Yeah. And is there maybe a segment, an industry where it is, let's say, easier or less difficult to find a job here in the Netherlands for expats?
Yes. So our recruitment agency is very focused on industries such as IT, supply chain and logistics, pharmaceuticals, finances, HR, just to name a couple. We work with a lot of companies that are also in the e-commerce business, and just different construction companies. And these are all companies that are always looking for people with different kinds of language skills. Mm-hmm. So I would say some of the industries that are really rising and stay popular also after, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. But I would say IT is very popular. Pharmaceuticals are on the rising, just to name a couple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there is already a lot of variety, so I guess people can just make their minds like, I come from, or I'm interested in this kind of industry. So since we are focusing, of course, in expat, the people that want to move, is it better? And this is one of the questions that I'm getting the most. It is better, or is there any difference if somebody applies for a job when he's already in the Netherlands or before moving? I have my idea, of course, about it. I think it's always better to be already in the country, considering also how many people live in the Netherlands. So maybe it can be one of the reasons why they choose you. But out of your experience, it is more professional. What do you think?
Yes, your idea is very correct. While we do help a lot of expats to find a job in the Netherlands who are still abroad, we can generally see that it's easier for you to find a job here in the Netherlands if you're already located here, or if you have very clear relocation plans. So let's say your partner is already in the Netherlands, or you already found housing, your chance of getting invited to an interview is that much easier and higher. People who are still abroad and they have the idea, I've been to Amsterdam before, it's a beautiful city, I'd love to live here and work here, but they haven't done the research yet and haven't found housing, they will have a more challenging time. So it really depends on the companies you're applying to. We have some clients who are very open to relocators and are very open to inviting them, even though they haven't found housing yet. But generally, it is a lot easier if you find housing here. The reason for this is that the Netherlands is a very dense and small country. A lot of people are looking for housing here. And unfortunately, we are currently really in a housing crisis. So everybody is looking for housing. It can take up to several months, even up to a year to find housing. So people who are coming from abroad really need to make sure that they highlight this on their CV, whether they already have housing available or if they're maybe open to staying in an Airbnb in the beginning or in a hostel until they find something, if they have relatives to stay with. That really seals in the difference, I would say. But yes, generally, just to summarize it, it's the best if you have housing here and you start applying to jobs when you're here.
Yeah, you have to give some security, let's say, to the future employer, probably, just because of what you said. And talking about applying, I have two questions that in a way maybe they are also connected. And I know that we can find a lot of tips already on the Instagram account, where there are a lot of reels with the top tips, let's say, for the CV and how better to approach a job interview and so on. But what is that doesn't have to miss in a CV, and what is the main mistake the normally expat do while applying for a job?
Fantastic question. We get this question all the time as well. That's why on our Instagram, we really like to provide daily tips on how to make your CV stand out, how to get invited to an interview faster, all these kind of tips that help people thrive and get unstuck. I would say one of the most important things when we consider that people are applying either via company directly or via a recruitment agent, we want to make sure and keep in mind that we try to make the life of the person who's looking at your CV as easy as possible. We want somebody to be able to access the information they need as quickly as possible. You might not believe this, but it is true. You do make a first impression within 20 seconds. So if someone looks at your CV, make sure it's like a camera snapshot. So don't share your whole life, but you really want people to get a snapshot of your life and want them to have access to the most important information as quickly as possible to see if you're a good match with the company you're applying to. And what a lot of people forget then is one of the most important things is a summary profile box. You want to make sure on the top of your summary to have a little profile box that summarizes who you are, what you've been doing, why you're applying for this job. And this is your chance to really shine, to stand out. This is what actually is one of the main decision makers, which will tell people if they want to continue reading your CV and want to consider you and put you on the yes pile instead of the no pile. So a lot of people forget to add the summary profile box, and it does take a little work because you do want to make sure to actually personalize it to each role you're applying to. But this is one of the number one things I would share. Another really important thing in the Netherlands, as it is such an international place, as an expat, you want to make sure to share your language skills. You want to make sure to add on your CV, do you already speak some Dutch, yes or no? What are the languages that you really feel comfortable in that you can actually see yourself working in?
Yeah. That's a great tip, actually, and I never thought about it, to really make clear which language I feel more comfortable to work with. Well, I'm taking notes. In the Netherlands, there is the possibility for people with a high-level job to get some tax
Yes.
discount. It's called 30% tax ruling, and
Yes.
it's not for everyone, and is for only one time. So if you apply for that, you get it. And even if you leave the Netherlands and comes back, it doesn't apply to you anymore. I don't want to go too much in deep to that, but as consultancy, do you help also people that are looking for a job to find out all these rules and admin bureaucratic stuff?
Great question. Yes, I know that the 30% ruling topic is something that people get very confused about. It's actually one of our most popular YouTube videos as well. We have a YouTube channel where we have a monthly episode called Abroad Experience Explains, where we go into these kind of topics. So I will just keep it brief here because I invite you to watch that more extensive video, but just summarize it. The 30% ruling is basically a tax advantage for highly skilled migrants moving to the Netherlands for a specific employment role. And they need to meet certain conditions so that the employer can actually grant a tax-free allowance equivalent to 30% of the gross salary. So they basically get a discount, and this 30% ruling, they can receive this for benefit of 5 years. There's very specific conditions for this. I will not dive into this now. We do cooperate with some clients who can help to get the 30% ruling, but it just really depends on the role you're applying to, the salary you will receive, and if you meet the conditions that you are a highly skilled migrant coming from abroad. So
yes,
there are tons of different conditions for this.
Yeah, it might be a bit confused. I remember when I did apply at the beginning, it was not clear also why I was receiving all those questions, and I need to show a lot of documents. So yeah, in that time my employer was helping me, so that was great. I guess it's important to support expats in figure out how this tax related stuff works. And yes, great that you have mentioned in the YouTube account, because of course I'm gonna leave also the link to this specific video, but in general there are several videos that can help everyone to understand better how job industry works in the Netherlands. So thank you for that. And I guess we have covered already a lot of the most common question that normally comes when we speak about moving to the Netherlands and start to work. But is there any other tip that you think an expat need to hear from you?
Yes, I'd love to share some more personal tips also from my life as an expat. The number one thing, what we see all the time, is that people apply to jobs and they don't take the time to actually properly plan. They don't take the time to properly prepare themselves and, let's say, do their homework. So if you are somebody who is about to move to the Netherlands and you want to really build up your career here, it is really important that you do your research. In the best possible scenario, if it's possible for you, I advise you to travel to the Netherlands before, do your research about housing while you're here, visiting some homes so that you can already get your housing arranged, and that will make it a lot easier for you to find a job here. Also setting up things like your BSN number, your Dutch bank account, which will also help you to speed up the process with finding a job. And to just make yourself familiar with the Dutch work culture, how to attend the interview, what's important to mention in the interview. Just get yourself familiar with all of this. And another thing, as an expat, is really important. What also helps you to find a job easier if you're not speaking Dutch yet, to apply to jobs via recruitment agencies such as Abroad Experience Recruitment. Recruitment agencies offer services that are for free. This is often a misunderstanding. People think it costs money to apply via agencies. They think that there will be some fee involved, but this is a service, it's completely for free. So if you apply to us, you can find all our vacancies on our website. You can either apply to a role that you see and you think it's you meet the requirements, or you can send us an open application as well. The great thing about this is that you will be staying in our system for a year, and we will continuously match you with roles that actually fit your profile. And the advantage it has that you apply via agencies is that you will be able to find a job quicker. We have access to way more job opportunities that you cannot find online, not on LinkedIn, not on company websites. We know of roles a lot earlier because we're constantly in touch with all our clients. And we take you through the whole procedure. So we are an agency. We're really proud of this. I must say we have a very personal approach. We don't actually just treat you like a number. We really keep you in mind for every role. That's the advantage of a small agency with a very personal approach. We take you through the whole procedure and beyond. We help you to get ready for job interviews. We have a first intake with you. We give you feedback after each interview. And also, once we place you in a company, our service goes beyond that. We help you with anything that you have to set up. And we also stay in contact with you while you start working there. So if you have any questions about what to do when you're sick at work, anything like that, our support just continues on.
Okay, that's great news. So people, if you're looking for a job in the Netherlands, you are already here or you are coming, Abroad Experience, check the link and get in touch with them, because as Charlotte just said, they will help you and be with you during the whole process and beyond. So it's not so common, and I guess that having this personal approach also is very important, providing feedback. So just not be just there to say, okay, there is this application and you are looking for a job, maybe there is a match, let's go there, but try to get the best out of the opportunity is one of the things that really makes a difference. So thank you for saying that, and thank you for doing that. It's very important. So,
it's a pleasure. I'd also like to share one last thing, if I may. Please keep in mind that our whole recruitment team, we're all internationals ourselves. I have lovely colleagues who are all in the recruitment team who are from Sweden, from France, from Italy, from South Africa, from Germany, from the Netherlands. So we all know what it's like to move to a new country, to start a new life, and what it takes to actually adapt to a new country and make your life successful in a new home country.
And again,
so that's what we care so much about, other expats experiencing the same. And we're here for support. We also offer monthly workshops, by the way, about how to be more noticed by hiring managers and recruiters, what to keep in mind in your CV, how to prepare for interviews. We also have a monthly coffee chat where you can come and ask all your questions. No question is silly. Just attend there. You can find information on our website. And I hope you send also an open application. We love to help you in any way possible. And we always love to hear from you.
Good. So it's really a full service. There is a little bit of everything, and I'm sure that the experience of any expat looking at your website, will be positive. So okay, then Charlotte, I just had to say thank you again. It was very interesting to hear all your tips and information that you provide us. So once again, all the links are in the description.
Thank you so much as well, Rossella, for this opportunity and for giving us the chance to share more information and hopefully to reach more expats and to also maybe get some misunderstandings out of the way about what it means to apply via recruitment agencies. We hope to support you in any way possible.
Yeah, that was another interesting and important point. So there is no misunderstanding anymore after listening this video. So thank you, Charlotte, and thank you, Abroad Experience Recruiter, of course, since you are representing them today. And thank you, everyone, for watching. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you.